BYB Extreme is?
Nothing like it.
Miami, Florida. And we're coming to you from the Miami-Dade County Fair Expo Center. Arnold Hall. It's the site of BYB Extreme, Bareknuckle Boxing. What's better? A full card of great fights is coming your way from South Florida. I'm Dave Ryan. He's Paulie Malignaggi, the Magic Man, two-time world champ. Benny Ricardo's here as well, longtime fight expert, among many things. Benny, what makes this so special? BYB Extreme is 187 square feet of absolute mayhem, right?
Totally. And if you like action, this is the place. If you like defense, you're not going to see it here tonight. It's about recognition, decision, and precision. You got to do it in a millisecond. So as much as people perceive it to be very brutal, you got to be very cerebral and very precise, or you break your hands, and nobody knows more about hands than the Magic Man.
It's happened, right? Unfortunately, as a fighter, it's going to happen there, Paulie. So you're in this trigon. It's 20 by 20 by 20. I mean, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, right?
Yeah, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And the bothersome thing for a fighter is if he does catch a hand injury, there's really nowhere he can maneuver in there. You know, you see these other surfaces. This is the smallest surface in combat sports. It's smaller than the circles, the rings, the cage, everything. So if you catch a hand injury, you're going to have nowhere to go, really. You know, if you can see the triangle, it kind of brings you in, while the ropes of a square kind of bring you out. So you can kind of slide on the ropes in a regular ring. You can't really slide off these ropes in a trigon because it's going to bring you towards your opponent anyway. It's going to be easy to be cut off. So you've got to make some quick decisions. It's great for the fans. I mean, the fans are going to love the action. You know, a lot of contact, a lot of knockouts. But at the end of the day, a lot of blood, but still safer. That's why I always tell people about bare knuckle boxing.
Right.
Without the cushion of the gloves protecting the hands, professional boxing has just enough cushion to protect your hands, but not enough cushion to protect from the extreme blows. While in bare knuckle boxing, you can't blow it up so many big shots. The knuckles act like razor blades. You're going to see more blood, but you don't have that traumatic brain injury stuff. So you know what? You're going to get a lot of great action, and you're going to see probably a lot of blood, maybe even a lot of stoppages, but everybody's going to be all right at the end of the night.
Well, let's hear from the Magic Man. You get backed in one of these corners. What do? What's your strategy?
You know, it's funny because in professional boxing, you usually just cause a clinch. You know, that's what I used to do. I was an outside fighter. If I got stuck anywhere, I just kind of smother my opponent and cause a clinch. But here, part of the rules is dirty boxing. So you cause a clinch, you might get yourself stuck in some kind of lock where you can't get out, and the other guy's going to be hitting you with the free hand. You've got to be a little bit skilled in some of that dirty boxing as well. It's not as easy as just smothering anymore like it is in professional boxing. Of course, you can't go to the ground like in MMA, so it's kind of a great
ground game.
kind of a great cross combat.
So, Benny, we saw a moment ago 22 by 22 by 22. I mean, it's just such a small fighting surface. When you talk about the rules, what stands out to you?
Well, first of all, it's 4-ounce gloves, so that, you know, the knuckles are exposed, but they are taped 1 inch below that. No 3 knockdown rule in effect, 10-point scoring system. Punching in the clinch allowed, and the tie plum is allowed here. And the tie plum is when you grab the back of the neck of your opponent and you punch him. That's easier said than done, because in order to do that, you got to be able to close the space, and that requires tremendous, if I can use the Spanish word, cojones. So that's what it takes.
You just did. As a fighter, do you like the rules?
I love the rules. I think for the fans, they're terrific rules. It makes it a little bit more complicated as a boxer, but it's also complicated if you're an MMA guy coming here. So you know what? You got to kind of cross it, and what is the word? Hybrid. It's kind of sort of a hybrid type of thing. And I'd like to make another note with what Benny said about grabbing behind the neck. I was in there. You get sweaty. You get wet. It's harder to grab a guy behind the neck than you realize when he's got a wet neck and a sweaty neck. Your hand kind of slides off, and if you misreach for that, if you're not close enough and you can misreach for that, you might get walk into a punch yourself. So you can do the dirty boxing, but you got to be careful to do it right.
We can't wait, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch
Absolutely.
These fights tonight. So a couple of fights are coming your way now. Please log on, sign up for the more great fights we'll have later tonight, including our main event from here in Miami at stonefaces.tv. Right now, let's hear from our sponsor.
The world is in crisis, with political unrest and financially unstable countries trying to print their way out of money troubles. It's incredibly concerning. That's why you should call today to receive the free hard asset information kit on how you should own gold. Just since 2000, gold is up 500%, while the dollar is down 33%. With many gold experts predicting gold can surge up to $25,000 an ounce, now is the time to buy gold. Hard Asset Management is a trusted leader in working with clients around the world. We offer easy ordering, fast shipping, and we have the guaranteed lowest prices on all gold bullion items, with customer service available 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Because gold doesn't have the same volatility that paper currency is subject to. It makes a much more attractive alternative for wealth preservation. Call now and get your free hard asset management gold kit for the top reasons why you should own gold. 844-426-4653.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Miami-Dade County Fair Expo Center in beautiful Miami, Florida. Tonight, BYB Extreme and BMCHam.com proudly presents BYB Extreme 5, an evening of sensational world-class bare-knuckle boxing for your entertainment. Tonight's matchmaker is Mel Valenzuela. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, there is no flash photography during tonight's bouts, no lighted cell phones either. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the Florida State Boxing Commission. The chairman is Dr. Mark Williams. The vice chair is Mrs. Tina Pike. Your commissioners, Dr. Anup Patel, Mr. Tobias Roche, and Mr. Jeremy Webby. The executive director is Patrick Cunningham, the assistant executive director, Tim Shipman, and the ringside coordinator is Brian Tilley. All bouts tonight will be scored under the 10-point must system. Ring officials assigned by the Florida State Boxing Commission. The attending ringside physicians are Dr. David Metz, Dr. Carlo Guevara, and Dr. Jerry Obed. Judges scoring at ringside: John Rupert, Manuel Marquez Jr., Florida Boxing Hall of Famer Mark Streisand, and Florida Boxing Hall of Famer Rich Green. Your timekeeper is Lisa Rossi. Counting for the knockdowns will be the alternate referees, and the referees in charge of the action this evening, Wayne Spinola and Sam Burgos. And now, making his way to the Trigon from the blue corner, Kobe Bowen.
My kids have surpassed my expectation as a mother. My wish comes true.
MMA guy, but he says, this is what I've always wanted to do because I'm a good striker and this is my chance to go and strike. And boy, I tell you what, he's got some tattoos, so I know he can take pain.
I'll tell you what, if striking's your thing, this is the purest kind of striking. Bare knuckle fighting is the most pure kind of striking, so he's right up his alley if this is what he likes.
He told us he's ready to come out early, guys, and end this fight early. The question is, in the Trigon, Paulo, you're talking about such a small fighting area, and we mentioned this at the top of the broadcast. It's not that easy to set your opponent up because there might be a lot of defense going on.
Yeah, well, there might be a lot of defense going on, but at the same time, the one positive thing about the Trigon is you don't have to find your opponent. He's going to be in front of you most of the time.
He's right there, isn't he? Right next to you. Tail of tape. Benny, what stands out to you here?
Well, obviously, the Bowen's going to have a height advantage on him, and if 3-inch height advantage, and then, Paulie, how would he overcome that?
Well, you know, he's got to feint his way in, or, you know, most of the time he feint his way in or move his head a little bit on his way in. If he can get Fuller to bite on some feints or things like that, or Bowen to bite on some feints, things like that, you know, he'll be able to close the gap a little bit better.
Now, you're going to really be impressed with Bowen's jab. He works off that jab, very disciplined. It's a sharp jab that he really stays behind, but that's one of the things at bare knuckle. You can't follow through completely on that shot. You end up breaking your hand.
But I tell you what, it was something I remember in my bare knuckle experience. The jab can help a lot, can be very helpful. It can be very helpful in controlling that distance and setting up your big shots if you're in fact have those big shots to set up.
Let's go back to Bob Alexander, our ring announcer here in Miami.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Miami-Dade County Fair Expo Center in Miami, Florida, our first bout of the evening is brought to you by BYB Extreme and BMCHam.com. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds of bare knuckle boxing in the super lightweight division. The 3 judges scoring at ringside: John Rupert, Mark Streisand, and Rich Green. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Sam Burgos. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with red and white trim. He weighed in at 146 pounds. He is undefeated in his bare knuckle career, 1 win, no losses. From Barbados, here is Kobe Bowen. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 139 pounds. Tonight, seeking his first bare knuckle win from Lakewood, Colorado, here is Cornflakes Rob Fuller.
Come on in, toes on the line. Toes on the line. Toes on the line, gentlemen. We get the instructions in the back. Obey my command and protect yourself at all times. Ready? Ready? Let's go.
Fighters have their instructions, and away we go. Fuller unloads on an early right hand.
Well, Dave, he told you he's going to come out throwing, boy, and he's bringing it to him right away.
Yeah, he didn't want to waste any time. Talk about closing that gap, Benny, right? He looked to close that gap right away.
Come on now.
Bowen has to put that jab out there. He's kind of overstepping with it. He's got to be, he's taking too straight up on the inside there as well, Bowen.
Fuller went for a huge right, almost connected.
See, I don't mind seeing Bowen do this on the inside as long as on the outside he can kind of find his range. And right now he's sort of, doesn't look the most comfortable.
Yeah, and Davey's got a cut already above the left eye, Fuller does. And that's a bad spot, because that's going to come, when you get that blood in your eye, that's a stinging sensation.
Good quick left jab. Kobe Bowen.
And you know, we talked about that before the show, about the fact that these shots they're superficial.
That right hand connected. Left side of the face of Kobe Bowen.
6, stay in the corner. 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's it. It's over.
Wow.
Kobe Bowen could not get up. And Rob Fuller, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. He's the winner tonight here in Miami.
Love to get a look at that replay, because I know he got caught in that little lock and he got hit with maybe an uppercut or two, but I didn't get to see exactly what landed clean, if anything.
And Paulie, you know, that's one of the things, when a fighter gets cut, that's when it becomes really dangerous. And you know, because you don't know how long you're going to be around, and that cut is above the eye, so it's in a nasty spot, and he came out throwing.
Delicate spot. But you know what? He came out throwing from the start. He probably got cut on accident, because he was the aggressive guy from the start. I never felt like Fuller was not in control of the fight from when the moment it started. I never felt Bowen ever got comfortable. So even despite the cut, I think it actually probably motivated him even more, because he's like, man, I started out so well, and I'm the one who's cut. No way, we can't have this. And he looked to get his guy out of there. But I'd love to get a chance to get that replay if we can see it.
And you know, Dave, I mean, Bowen was a late substitute, and so therefore, Fuller had to go ahead and lose a lot of weight, and then come to fight night, he didn't really have to. I really felt bad for this kid, but boy, he put on a hell of a show.
His wife is here. Happily married man for 13 years.
You want a piece of me? You run your mouth, you better back it up.
That man's excited. Proud dad of 4 kids.
So, Paulie, when does the adrenaline leave your body like that? Because you can tell Fuller's one happy guy right now.
Now, you're happy all night usually. Probably not going to sleep much tonight. Be happy partying. Let's see this shot. Okay, there's the shot. Look like Bowen lands, but then here it is right here. I don't don't really see anything that landed.
You know, it was that shot to the neck, right in that area right there, because I know, like in police tactic, that's one of the things, they hit that side part of the neck, and it just knocks you out, and you lose your senses right off the bat. That's a soft
I guess that's what
tissue.
it was. But meantime, right before that, Bowen had landed a nice right hand himself, you know?
Let's make it official. Here's the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Miami-Dade County Fair Expo Center, your referee in charge, Sam Burgos, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute, 24 seconds of the first round. Your winner by knockout, Cornflakes, Rob Fuller.
Right now, I'm standing with a very excited Rob Fuller. Rob, yesterday at the weigh-ins, you said, I'm gonna show you something different tonight, and you came out and you won first round via knockout. How good does that feel?
Feels good, man. All the hard work. I took the L last time at the last event back in December. I knew what I needed to get together. Went back to the drawing board, knew what to expect this time, and knocked his ass out.
Listen, he caught you with a Superman punch. I'm seeing a knot on the side of your head. He cut you early. You stayed focused. You stayed poised, you know, and it seems like you just, something clicked in you. What was it?
I knew what I needed to do from last fight. I knew I got a little in a hurry, a little in a rush, didn't take my time and be patient. And this time, the key to this fight was to have some patience.
Listen, hard-fought victory. You deserve it. You know, enjoy yourself. And again, you know, you just fought a very tough Kobe Bryant down in Miami. Saturday night, under the bright lights. You deserve that win. You enjoy yourself. What's next for you?
Anything BYB got, give me a name, location, let's go.
My man, congratulations.
Let's watch everything, guys, from start to finish. Rob Fuller lost to Pablo Caballero not far from here, Fort Lauderdale in BYB Extreme 4 back in December. That's a fight, Paulie, he mentioned. Was he patient, like he said?
You know what? I thought he wanted to get right to it. And I don't think he needed patience tonight, to tell you the truth. You know, he wanted to get in there and close the gap on a taller guy. Never want to make Bowen, the taller guy, comfortable. And I don't think he ever did. I mean, Bowen, you could see him trying to use the jab, but it's like he can't figure out his distance. He's overshooting it there. He's undershooting it. And I felt like he was a little bit jittery on his legs the whole time, even though he was trying to keep a distance. Meantime, you know, Fuller knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to close that gap and throw big shots. I don't think he needed so much patience tonight as much as it was probably shot selection, and his selection of shots clearly got the job done tonight.
But you know, we talk about the size of this apex on this triangle. I mean, you throw, you're gonna land. You got to just be willing to throw. And I thought the problem with Bowen, he was just too upright. I don't think he ever bent his knee except when he went down.
Yeah, and I think that just comes from not being comfortable. You can kind of see in his facial expression, even in the shots that he's landing, he's just not sure of himself and what he's going to do afterwards or what's going to happen afterwards. It's like, I don't know, he never settled in. And then I don't think he ever got settled in. I mean, even if the shot to the neck is what got him out of there, I mean, he just didn't settle in.
He was never comfortable, guys, from the very beginning. Seemed tentative.
And of course,
the jab's not going to work. That's not going to be enough.
Well, you know what it is. The jab can't work if you're shooting it the right way. If you're landing it. If you figure out the distance on it, which he never did. He landed a jab or two, but even when he landed that jab, his feet were jittery. He was like he wasn't unsure. He wasn't sure of himself and wasn't even confident in the jab. And Fuller, all he brought was confidence. I mean, he just brought confidence and big punches and
determination.
And that mental psyche, I think, really was the big difference in the fight. Fuller wanted to win more than Bowen.
There's nothing more dangerous than a fighter tasting his own blood. That's a really...
Especially he was already angry to begin with. I mean,
clearly he was.
Fuller looked bad for the belt.
Our interaction with Rob Fuller, he's not a happy man. He's an intense man is what he is, and the Coloradan gets the win in the super lightweight. Light heavyweights are coming up. J.D. Burns, Tacoma, Washington, against the Prez himself. Carl Jefferson. Dada 5000, the founder of BYB Extreme, caught up with JD Burns earlier tonight.
Hello, everybody. I'm here with JD. JD, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, bud. I'm doing excellent today, sir.
Listen, right now you're going to be on the BYB 5 Bare Knuckle Brawls card. How are you feeling? And can you tell us who is your opponent?
I'm feeling better than okay because I got a fight for sure, and my opponent's Carl Jefferson. I don't know much about him. I just know he's a tough SOB because he's taking the fight week's notice, so I'm ready to put on a show for you guys and rock and roll.
Okay, listen, now you're fighting inside of the mighty Trigon ring. It is totally different from anything else. I mean, how do you view the Trigon, and how do you plan on using the Trigon tonight to best your opponent?
I plan on using the middle as king of the hill and turning it a lot into a kind of a mix between a hockey fight and a reenactment of Don Fry's fight. Hopefully, that's the fingers crossed if I can anyway.
Last question for you. Can we expect a knockout?
For sure, for hoping more than anything else. Yes, sir. Him or me, somebody's going down.
Hey, listen, congratulations. See you later.
Thank you. Appreciate it, boss.
Dada 5000, that's just awesome to hear from JD Burns, the young man from Tacoma, Washington, the Berserker, as he's known, is set to go head-to-head with Carl Jefferson. One more free fight you can see on the BYB Extreme YouTube channel. Don't forget to sign up, because 8 more fights are coming your way. Pay-per-view on stonefaces.tv.
And
first, let's hear another word from our sponsor.
Buying silver isn't just for jewelry. Investing in silver bullion through Hard Asset Management, one of the world's leading precious metals dealers, is the best means to protect and preserve the hard-earned wealth that you build for your family. Because silver doesn't have the same volatility that paper currency is subject to, it makes a much more attractive alternative for wealth preservation. Here's 3 reasons to purchase silver. It's a solid investment vehicle, it's a hedge against inflation. In a financial meltdown from overprinting of the dollar, silver will act as a survival purpose, with analysts predicting silver can surge as high as $210 an ounce from its current levels of $26 an ounce. Now it's the time to buy silver. Because of solar and clean energy, silver demands will be skyrocketing later this year into 2022. Predictions are that silver can go as high as $200 an ounce. Call Hard Asset Management today to place your order and secure silver for your long-term investment strategy. 844-426-4653.
pon el lado derecho entonces. Mike, you're living in Arizona, right?
Coming up, stonefaces.tv. Be sure to log on and sign in for 8 great fights coming your way. Got one more first
Ready
on our YouTube channel at BYB Extreme. Continue a great fight night. BYB Extreme 5 here at the Expo Center in Miami. And Benny is joined by a very special guest.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. This is one of the legends of combat sports. The guy that I've enjoyed watching him, a guy that, you know, the voice, the excitement, the taking those diaphragm and just trajectorying it up to the sky. It's an awesome, awesome experience to listen to this man calling on this fight. A legend in the combat sport. Mike, it's great to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much for joining us over here.
Yeah.
Now you've been combat sports. You've seen this stuff. It was crazy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Everybody thought. I had the same feeling when I heard about bare knuckle fighting. I thought, you know what, this is a train wreck. What if everybody breaks their hand? Tell me your thoughts on bare knuckle fighting as comparing it back to the early days of the MMA.
Well, it was always like 2 men will enter the octagon, only 1 will leave. And now nobody's leaving before the bell rings. They're being knocked out and there's going to be a finish. And I happen to be a guy, Benny, who likes to say it is all over just like that. And you guys just did in the first round. What people don't understand, though, is the technique. You understand it. Obviously, Paulie does, Dave does. Alda, there's technique to this, and there's boxing. The first fight we just saw, body shot, sets it up, goes to the head. It's good combat, it's good confrontation. People love finishes, Benny. You know that. People love knockouts. I love finishes, and this is what it's all about. There's nowhere to go in the Trigon. Nowhere to hide.
And exactly, speaking of the Trigon, because I know in the cage, oftentimes, and be honest with you, how often did you call it from the monitor because you couldn't see through the cage?
All the time.
Exactly.
All the time. Once in a while, I forgot the fight was in front of me. I really did.
Exactly. And that's where here, it is so visible.
Yes.
You're going to see everything, and everything's going to happen in the middle. You don't have to worry about those guys going to the ropes.
It's very, very true. And if they do go to the ropes, they're in trouble. Because unlike, the square circle, there's nowhere to go in the ropes here. Because if you go in the ropes, you are actually stuck in the corner, and you're probably not coming out. So you have to be careful. You talk about taking the center and owning the center, you better truly buy that center and own it for the next 30 years, or you're not coming out anywhere without being knocked out.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this, because I know all the fans out there, and we got a lot of crossover from the MMA crowd over to Bare Knuckle. Of all the fights at UFC, give me the one that stands out to you today, like it's still happening for him, because it was so memorable.
It probably is Anderson Silva's kick to Vitor Belfort. It really is, because going into that, you had the Phenom and you had the Spider, two of the greatest in Brazil's history, two of the greatest in mixed martial arts history. I watched Vitor early on. I watched Anderson win 16 in a row inside the octagon. Joe and I had the honor calling each one, Benny, and I'm going, oh man, Victor or Wade Anderson, and then boom. And it was like, wow. That Michael Bisping knocking out Luke Rockhold. But the best knockout ever was the spinning kick, Edzenbard, Boza, and Terry Edom. That was scary. Joe and I just went, wow. There were so many, Benny, but those are the ones that I remember. And then Lyoto did it to Randy Couture, so we've seen it happen a few times. I know you appreciate a front kick.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, a kick.
Absolutely.
Okay, but now, I'm going to give you a hypothetical one. Brock Lesnar, Fedor. Who would have won?
Fedor. Fedor, definitely, because Fedor does it all. Fedor does it all. And what people need to remember is combat sambo includes wrestling. And that's what a lot of people didn't know. Combat sambo is hand-to-hand fighting. And it's clinch, and it's Greco, and it's wrestling. And Brock, don't forget, Brock was 106-5 at the University of Minnesota. Legitimate collegiate wrestler. Skilled as can be, but not well-rounded like Fedor. Fedor all day long. The GOAT.
How good is that, folks? Mike Goldberg giving it to you right there. Thank you, Mike. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Mine as well.
Hope to see you some more out here.
Thank you so much, Benny. Thank you, guys.
The legend. Goldie's here in the house.
All right. Good job, buddy.
Long-time voice of UFC, Mike Goldberg. J.D. Burns, Carl Jefferson. Lightweight bout is coming up. It's scheduled for 5, but this is the Trigon. As Dada 5000 says, it rarely goes the distance. Back to the ring announcer, Bob Alexander.
And now, ready to make his way to the Trigon from the blue corner, Carl Jefferson.
Here comes the Prez. Jefferson, that works. And then he's from Springfield, Illinois, as in the hometown of one Abraham Lincoln. So he's covered with the president thing pretty well with that cool nickname. What do you guys think of his fight game is the question?
Well, this guy's one of those guys, he's got that serene, he's kind of a little coy in the way he does it. And I am really excited, because this is going to be an absolute brawl. This is going to, in fact, the referee better get out of the way.
Yeah, this is one of those fights where, looking at him at the fighter meetings yesterday that we had with the fighters, one was very talkative and one was very quiet. And Jefferson was the quiet, soft-spoken one. I guess it's a Springfield thing. Lincoln was sort of like that too, but Lincoln also knew how to get the point across. So let's see if Jefferson, when he steps in the Trigon tonight, see if he knows how to get the point across, or if it will be the louder JD.
Prez has not fought in a while, guys. He's looking for his first brawl since 2019. Owner of a gym in Springfield, Illinois. But he says, hey, I fight every day, so I'm ready.
And, he's his style, he calls it a freestyle fighter. The guy's going to mix it up and stuff, use whatever it takes and stuff. He said he never really felt that comfortable with MMA, whereas this is more his thing because he doesn't have to go looking for anybody. He doesn't have to go to the ground. The guy's going to be right there. He has been a wrestler, so you know the ground game is something he was good at, but he loves the striking part.
Coming after Billie Jean if he's got the same moves.
And now, ready to make his way to the ring from the red corner, J.D. Burns.
As engaging a young man as I think you'll meet. He's 29 years old, as we mentioned, from Tacoma, Washington, the Seattle area. He's got the hair, he's got the look. And this is a guy who grew up jiu-jitsu, martial arts, loves to fight. And we can't wait to watch him.
And I love this line. He said, it's like the price is right. I'm just glad to be here. I love fighting, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm going to bring it.
And what an attitude, Paul, this guy has. He was fun to meet with yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah. He had a big personality, like you said, engaging. And you can see he's a showman. He's a ham for the cameras, you know. And you can tell here too, you know, with the dyed painted hair and the facial expressions, smiling. He wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world right now except on his way to the Trigon for combat.
Guaranteed a knockout. It might be him, it might be his opponent. He's not sure, but someone's going down here.
I asked him, I said, do you have any hobbies? He says, punching people in the face and getting punched in the face. I said, okay.
It's a family thing. His wife, Skylar, a kickboxer. She has a fight coming up in August she's training for now. Dad was a black belt. And his little 4-year-old, Rockland, he's going to become a black belt too, JD tells us one day.
Polly, one of the things he said he did for training is he says he trained in close quarters. Close quarters so you get used to the dirty fighting, all that stuff that happens in the middle here.
Yeah, and there's no use in getting used to fighting at distance too much because you're not going to fight too much at distance. So we see the tail of the tape here, Benny.
All right, gentlemen, tail of the tape here, as Paulie pointed out. What are we seeing here? What stands out?
Well, to me, it's pretty even. I mean, you're talking about 1-inch reach differences, Jefferson, so that's not much to overcome. These guys, it's not going to matter. Both of these guys are guys that want to throw it, and they're going to throw it right off the bat and forget about technicality, any of those kind of things. They're going to bring the knuckles.
Back to Bob Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Miami-Dade County Fair and Expo Center in Miami, Florida, our next bout of the evening is brought to you by BYB Extreme and BMCHam.com. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds of bare knuckle boxing in the light heavyweight division. The 3 judges scoring at ringside, Mark Streisand, Rich Green, and Manuel Marquez Jr. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Wayne Spinola. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 180 pounds. Tonight, making his bare knuckle debut from Springfield, Illinois, here is Carl Prez Jefferson. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with purple trim. He weighed in at 172 pounds. Also making his bare knuckle debut this evening from Tacoma, Washington, here is JD, the Berserker Burns.
All right, guys, you know the rules. Obey my commands at all time. Protect yourselves at all time. Any questions, guys? Just step back and get guys started.
Fernando, ¿todo bien?
Instructions from referee Wayne Spinola. Time to fight in Miami. It's physical early.
Paul and I were talking about that. I worry about right off the bat, J.D. Burns. He's got that kind of skin that just cuts very easily.
Yep. We've seen guys with that kind of shade to their skin get cut a lot easier. Let's see if it ends up affecting him. Right now, a lot of holding and hitting from both sides, and the dirty boxing is allowed here in BYB.
But like you said, though, Paulie, they're not sweaty yet. So you can hang on to them right now until they get sweaty.
Yeah. Early is the best time for that. And you know what? In the trigon, there's not a lot of room, so you can get close enough to grab pretty soon. A lot of maneuvering.
Body with a big right hand.
Oh, big uppercut.
Oh, JD Burns is hurt.
Big uppercut.
He's trying to smile it off, but that knee, you see the way that knee bent?
Yeah.
It buckled quickly on him, Benny.
Surprise, weird uppercut out of that southpaw stance.
Oh, he walked right into that one, got hit hard.
That's a straight right hand on the button.
Yeah, I think he's still hurt from the knockdown.
He's wobbling.
From the first knockdown, because that was just a simple hard jab.
Let's continue. Burns hurt twice.
See, I don't think he's had his legs under him there. That's not a knockdown, but I don't think he has his legs under him.
When he bent that knee, it didn't seem like he was going to be able to get back up.
That was a nice uppercut Jefferson landed, really. It was really sneaky. And his legs still looked kind of soft under. Somebody's mouthpiece is out. I think it's Jefferson's.
I'm not sure he's going to last this first round, guys.
And you know what? Jefferson's mouthpiece is out. Let's see if Drews can land something good there.
Now'll be the time, Paulie.
Yeah.
He's kind of flailing wildly.
Well, that's the best thing you can do when you're hurt like that. I mean, just throw.
Jefferson again connects.
Break clean, break clean. My time.
Big hook.
JD Burns is on the verge.
The ref. JD Burns been getting hit so much that the referee thought he got his knockout. His mouthpiece got knocked out.
Lots
Look
of
at
blood
the swelling
here.
below Jefferson's right eye. Big, huge hematoma there.
Yeah, Burns doing some work. You know, he's hurt. He's lasting in there, though. Jefferson with some good straight shots there with the left hand.
So, Paulie, you see a fighter with that mouth open. You know he's grasping for air right now. You look at Jefferson. He's got that mouth wide open.
Nobody goes to the body, though, Benny. You know, so you get that fatigue if somebody would just throw a nice straight shot to the body.
Wobbles him again. He's teetering. He's trying to hang in for the last 18 seconds of the first round. Mouthpiece out again for Jefferson.
Break clean.
So he's going to get a warning there from the referee about spitting out that mouthpiece.
He's going to pick it up
twice
himself.
now.
He just put it right back in.
Last 10 ticks, first round.
Your heads, gentlemen. Right out.
These guys gave it all in this round.
There's the bell. There's the first. I'm giving JD Burns some credit. He was able to last through that first round.
Yeah. I mean, that was a hard knockdown. He went down hard. Let's see if we get that replay. That was a sneaky uppercut. Left-hand uppercut from Jefferson from the southpaw stance. I mean, it surprised me for him to throw it from that distance. So JD Drews was absolutely surprised when it came, let alone landed. I don't think he expected anything coming from underneath from that distance. And he was able to, Jefferson was able to land the money shot. And I don't think Drews really recovered his legs the rest of the round.
Yeah, I'm going to score that 10-8. A 10-8 round 4.
That's it, there it is right there.
Jefferson.
Well,
What's that knee? What's the knee?
Was that a headbutt, though? The shot didn't land. Did you see that?
I think you're right.
Let's see if... Oh, we didn't get to the second knockdown.
That was the right hand.
Yo, that first knockdown, I don't know. That was a clash of heads, man. That was a headbutt right on his face, right? I mean,
I think you're right, Paulie.
We didn't get another look at it, but that was crazy. I mean, he didn't even complain. Does he know that's not allowed? I mean, if I got butted, I would have been like, ref, that's a headbutt.
That's the kind of gamer JD Burns is. And with a flurry, he begins the second.
Yeah, we got to remember his hobby is punching people in the face and getting punched in the face.
But the biggest shot he took tonight was a headbutt.
Yeah.
And I don't think his legs are still back. I mean, his legs still look spongy.
Now that was a hammer punch that he came down on him.
I mean, he's game though. He's been game the whole time. I mean, that for sure was an uppercut.
And that was a tie plum executed to perfection because he grabbed him from the back and then gave him the uppercut.
Right.
JD.
Chin.
JD's up.
Has been checked by our referee, Wayne Spinola, time and time again. He guaranteed there'd be a knockout tonight. Didn't say he'd do the knocking out.
See, now
Jefferson was tired here.
Yeah, both guys look tired, but Drews seems to be digging down a little bit more. It's just the problem is he's facing another knockdown this round, so he's going to need a knockdown to get himself back in the fight. He's going to need to score one.
See, and they're so tired right now. They're not even worrying about their footwork. I mean, they're just leaning into those shots.
It's a slip. That's a slip.
That's a headbutt, yeah.
Trouble getting up.
That knee I know is bothering him. Let's see if he can stand up on that knee, because I'm telling you, that's an MCL, ACL, and it's a...
And he went down hard on it in that first knockdown, right? Look.
He can't put weight on that.
It's a bad cut, too.
You got to give this young man credit for hanging in.
The doctor's asking him to walk, wants to watch him. I tell you what, this is helping Jefferson.
Yeah,
because Jefferson was really gasping for air, trying to find some.
I don't think either fighter, guys, had an answer there in terms of the energy they needed. The footwork was abandoned.
Look at JD. He's telling the referee, I'm ready. I'm ready.
The referee, doctor's telling him to walk back and forth again.
Yeah, the doctor wants to see him walk.
Don't forget to sign up. Stonefaces.tv. 8-fight card coming your way. Price is right, and so are the fights. Don't miss it. Ready to resume.
Jefferson.
These guys are showing us some guts. Jefferson the right.
He's catch and shoot there by JD Drews, though. And look, he's got the lock-in. He's got the lock-in, buddy. Look at this.
Flailing.
A lot of clashes of heads going on there like crazy. Both guys bashing heads on each other, too.
Burns doing everything he can to connect.
And you know, the best defense here in bare knuckle is just throw. Throw, 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 throw. Get there first.
Yeah, best defense is offense, especially here. And again, he's falling over himself. That knee again, Benny.
It's a slip, no knockdown.
Oh, whoa. You know, Jefferson just kind of hung around in front of Drews. It's going to happen.
Well, he's not moving well, Paul.
Yeah.
I felt that punch here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just hang out in front of your opponent like that without moving your head. I mean, he was asking for that shot from Drews. Jefferson was.
Let's go, come on, we got to fight. Or is it over? Here we go, fight.
Jefferson doing everything he can to get through the round. He is absolutely spent. The tank is empty. He's upright. He's a target, and Burns is trying to take advantage of it. JD Burns with some much-needed energy and scoring points.
This is a battle of attrition now, guys. And this is JD seems to want it a little more, but does he have enough in the gas tank? Does he have enough? Oh.
Connects with the left after a nice right hand.
The shame for JD this round is he probably would have won the round had he not been knocked down, right?
That was entertaining.
You know, Jefferson's got to ask himself, what do I have to do? Yeah. I mean, unless I get a hammer, I get a baseball bat, I mean, obviously my fists aren't enough.
And I'm sure your fists start hurting too when you land this many shots on each other. Coming from the guy with the bad hands, I mean, this many shots landing on each other constantly. I mean, the hands have got to hurt at this point. They've been throwing and not much has missed.
Well, you talked about that when you fought Lobo, about it was there, and then how much you felt it with that right.
Yeah, and as the fight wore on, it hurt worse and worse. So I didn't even use the right hand at a certain point because it was broken. But these guys are landing everything, both hands. That's a big uppercut. That was a nice shot because that was the little grab there that you were discussing, Benny. Kept him right in position for a nice uppercut there. Really well executed by Jefferson. But then the rest of the round is a headbutt. That was a clash of heads and his legs.
And you watch that knee. The right knee, and at that time the referee said it was a headbutt.
Yeah.
And that's why he gave him time to recover.
But nonetheless, his knee still doesn't look good.
No,
it was a headbutt, but nonetheless.
It hasn't from the beginning, you're right.
And I think it was from the original knockdown. Sometimes you get an injury to an ankle or a knee when you go down hard, like he did in the first round. Which was from a headbutt, mind you. Nobody even acknowledged it.
And Dave, Jefferson's got he's got his mouth wide open. He could get his jaw broken.
Yeah.
I think Jefferson thought this fight was going to be over early in the first round. And Burns is not giving up.
Well, you know, there's a thing called telegraphing. That's outdated. These punches are being emailed.
A long way away.
The swelling on the left side of Jefferson's face. Look at that.
And Drew's collapsed now. Again, he always bends that right knee, though, when he comes down. He always goes down on that right knee.
They are both absolutely exhausted. These guys are warriors. Jefferson in the corner. And in the trigon, that can be a problem. You might not get out. Jefferson to one knee.
This is like seeing two 747s in the runway hitting each other.
Burns.
He's not going to make it.
Remarkable story. It's over. How about that? J.D. Burns.
That was Arturo Gatti-esque for J.D. Drews. That was, I'm telling you.
Incredible.
That was Arturo Gatti-esque. Down twice. I mean, that was something else.
Oh, Mickey Ward's watching this, huh?
Yeah, yes.
What a fight. And J.D. the Berserker Burns out of Tacoma, Washington, outlasts the Prez. Carl Jefferson from Springfield, Illinois. And this was a war, Paul.
Wow. Well, it's going to be hard to top this one the rest of the night. What a fight. What a fight.
And look at the smile on his face. He's still having a great time. This is a guy, like I said, his hobby is getting punched in the face and punching people in the face.
And he did a lot of both tonight. That's why he's happy.
How many both times, guys? How many times was he on the canvas on one knee, bent over, doubled over the ropes? I mean, this guy, that was guts.
Now, it's funny. I used to always get weird looks from people on the flights home after my fights, whether I won or lost, because your face the next day is bruised up. I keep, my mind is going to these guys and their flight home tomorrow. What people are going to think about when they see them.
It's going to look like that for a while.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look, he's having a great time. Not so much Jefferson, but Burns.
The last time.
This is how it ended.
This literally just became a battle of attrition. It was just get him in the corner. And this is one of the problems with the trigon. You're always trapped somewhere. And then when you're tired, Jefferson exhausted, he gets pushed back into the corner. There's no way out. You got to fight your way out. Now look, Drews is making it a battle of attrition. He wants it more than Jefferson. He's putting him there. Now find your way out if you're Jefferson. You can't. There's no way out. The paradox of the trigon.
It is a paradox. There is no escape, and that is the huge challenge. J.D. Burns told us yesterday it's going to be like a hockey fight. Only one is going to stand at the end. Oh, he's standing now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for both warriors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Miami-Dade County Fair and Expo Center in Miami, Florida, your referee in charge, Wayne Spinola, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute, 19 seconds of the third round. Your winner by knockout, J.D. the Berserker Burns.
I mean, this was a fight. It was literally, the sand was running out of the hourglass. He was not going to win a decision with having been knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds. He needed the knockout, and he got it.
Let's see, baby, let's see. Westchester in the house. Columbus in the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, J.D., but let's give a warm round of applause for both of these brawlers.
I still haven't seen my face yet, so hopefully it looks good.
For those of you who are inside the crowd, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. These guys, they came out here and they laid it all on the line for your entertainment purposes. Listen, I spoke with you yesterday and you said you're coming to let the world know who you are, and by the judging of your performance, by round of applause, do you want to see him return? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the easiest things you could do is quit. These guys punched each other, beat each other up, and they kept getting knocked down, kept getting back up. That's the heart of a lion, and this is what true champions are made of. Congratulations, hard-fought win. Can't wait to see you come back.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I really appreciate it. The more you guys cheer, the more I want to give blood. So the more you... Sorry, I'm a little concussed, sorry. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, friends and family. Sponsors, everybody that believed in me. keep coming and fighting if you guys keep wanting me back. Thank you.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, before the main card starts at 8 o'clock, take out your phones, tweet where you are at, hashtag BYB5. This is just the beginning. We got more to come.
What a warrior. J.D. Burns. In December, Benny, we didn't see him fight. His opponent had a medical issue at the last moment. I'm glad we got to see him fight tonight. That was entertaining.
Dave and Paul, I tell you what, let's give credit to Wayne, the referee, because you know what? He was very in tune to what was happening out there. Was really on top of it and did not stop it.
No.
He let the fight continue. That's a great job by Wayne Spinola.
But from one point, he deserves credit for that, because a lot of referees would have panicked and stopped a fight like this and not knowing what to do, especially when the guys looked like they were, you know, almost not wanting to fight anymore. Sometimes they were just turning their back and leaning on the ropes. We see a lot of these highlights here. But he kept letting them back in, and they gave back in. They didn't say, oh no, I don't want to. They gave everything each time he allowed them to fight, and for our entertainment purposes. This is the kind of fight you remember. This is the kind of fight you're going to be talking about all week, you know?
And
but then from the other side, the referee gets a little bit of a minus, because the first knockdown was absolutely a headbutt, 100%, and it was not even close to a fist landing.
But you know, that's the thing. We talked about dirty boxing. Everything you could possibly do that's dirty, they did it. They did.
Yeah, including the illegal stuff in dirty boxing standards.
In fact, Dave, you know what? I even caught Paulie rubbing his hands. I think they were hurting him just watching those.
They really were. I was just watching all these punches land, and I'm like, how are these guys still punching?
How are they still standing up? That was my question. I mean, it was a remarkable, gutty effort. And this guy...
But look, I mean, you can even see Jefferson. He's doubled over even as he's waiting the official announcement. The fight's over. He's still exhausted. JD in the post-fight interview was still catching his breath. He couldn't even talk. I mean, these guys really gave it every ounce of energy they could.
2 fights in the books, but a lot more coming your way on pay-per-view. Coming up next on stonefaces.tv. Lopez, Willie Sears, guys. This is going to be a fun fight to watch. We've seen Lopez before, Benny.
Absolutely, and he's going to bring it. This is a guy from El Salvador, loves to fight, grew up fighting out in the streets. Now he said, why not? I'll get paid for it.
Jeff Chiffins head-to-head.
That is going to be the intriguing
Ryan
fight.
Favale.
Favale, who says his hobby is living life and staying purty.
Jordan Mitchell and Dwayne Crespo Jr. Dwayne from upstate New York. Gonna make his BYB Extreme bare knuckle debut tonight against Mitchell, who describes himself, Paulie, as just a brawler. He's ready.
Yeah. So he's got kids to feed, and he's always ready to fight.
Always ready to fight. Isaiah Quinones.
Quinones with a junkyard dog chain. Look at that.
He is about as tough a guy as you're ever going to see. You knock him down like the Russian did in the last fight. He got up off of that, and it was almost like a pit bull that was injured.
Corda Stitt played college football and was a wrestler in college. Roger Hunnell and Jomi. Now, Jomi Escoboza is a warrior and experienced in BYB. Pablo Caballero. Hair looks different now. Still the same great fight game against Birdsong.
Caballero comes to us all the way from Argentina.
Santa Fe.
Great fighter. We've seen him before at BYB 4 in Miami. And the main event, Leo Pla, very experienced in BYB Extreme, against Sam Liera from California. Sam's first trip to Florida. Let's see how it works out, Paulie.
Yeah.
Be sure to log on to stoneface.com and stoneface.tv, because more BYB Extreme fighting is coming your way from here in Miami, Florida. So for Benny, for Paulie, it's Dave Ryan saying so long for now. We'll see you in a few minutes on stonefaces.tv.